guys, Matt here again with Ascension Props, and with another quick tip this week. We're going to be talking a little bit about lighting and how to put lights into your props, into your armor, all that sort of stuff. Because I'm the firm believer that lights make everything cooler. Again, apologies for a lack of a proper setup, but this is going to have to do until I get my shop up and running, so bear with me. A few things you're going to need before you get started. First, you're going to need your LEDs. They come in single packs, they come in strips and pre-wired packages, which makes it really easy if you're in a hurry and you don't want to deal with calculations. You're going to need resistors, which we'll talk about later, but these are absolutely necessary. You're going to need wire to hold it all together. It's good to have multiple colors so you know which end goes where. Of course, you're going to need batteries. We'll use a 9 volt in this case, but they come in 9 volt, they come in 6 volt, they come in 3 volt, they come in 12 volt or 24 volt. You're going to need solder, and a soldering iron to put it all together. You're going to need electrical tape or heat shrink tube or hot glue or something to cover up the open connections so you don't zap yourself. You're going to need pliers, which are good to help you hold the stuff, or you can get one of those little armature things that'll hold the wires in place while you solder them. You're also going to need something to cut the wires and also strip them. You can use a wire stripper, which is really handy, or if you're in a pinch you can just use regular wire cutters, just don't hold it so tight. A couple of things to remember about all kinds of electricity. LEDs are no exception. There's a positive side and a negative side. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. Easiest way to tell for these, 99% of the time, the positive wire is the long wire and the negative is the short. If they're both the same size, you can also look inside at the wire. There's a big gigantic metal piece that's in there that's on the negative, and a tiny piece on the other side that's the positive. Now, resistors. These are the kinds of things that keep your LEDs from exploding. It's never fun. Let me show you an example of what not to do. As you can see, without the resistor, you basically blow up the bulb and you can't use it ever again. Depending on your power source and depending on the strength and size and everything else of the LED, will determine what kind of resistor you need. Now, there are several calculators you can find online that'll tell you exactly what kind of resistor you need, but my favorite is this one. I'll put a link in the description below so you can see it. Not only does it calculate based on the information you get from the LEDs, and then tell you what kind of resistor you need, as well as the special color code it is. It also shows you, in some cases, several ways to put it together. Of course, if you're in a pinch, you can always go online, select your battery type, what size of LED you want, whether it's 3mm, 5mm, 10mm, or round. And it'll set you up with several pre-wired LEDs, which have the resistor already attached to it, as well as 2 wires. That makes things nice and easy, and makes it a lot quicker and easier for you, especially if you're in a time crunch. Now, I'm not going to show you how to solder, partly because, again, I don't have the room, and partly because there's so many different ways to do it. I'm still new to this, but I learned how to solder in about 5 minutes. Really, really easy, and there's billions of videos all over YouTube just to show you how. But once you get to this point, you're ready to attach it to the battery. As you can see, the battery has its own wires. Again, positive and negative. Once it's in, it is simple enough to test the connection. As you can see, because it's not soldered together, the light's blinking. Disconnect it from your power source, take your wire stripper, give yourself some extra room on the wire, take the wires, Remembering to strap them positive to positive, negative to negative. And now that they're connected, you can solder them. And now that our connection is secure, we have a light. Now, as you can see though, these wires are still open, and if you touch them, on one on each side, you will shock yourself. I've seen several costumers walking around twitching because they didn't quite fully cover up their wires. Quickest, easiest solution? Electrical tape. And there you go. From there, all you have to do is get your phone, drill a hole through it, put your LED through it, secure it with a bit of hot glue or some more electrical tape, and light it up. Nice and easy, right? Well, I hope this has helped you guys become a little bit less afraid of LEDs. They're a lot easier than they seem, and though I'm not an expert, I've found a lot of things to be a lot easier and a lot faster once you just start doing them. You can also find things like Iron Man suits or other Daft Punk helmets and things like that have some really neat effects, like words scrolling across the face, like different blinking effects or nice little strobing lights, things like that. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do, and the sky's the limit. Best thing to do, fastest, easiest quick tip of today, go out and try it. It's a lot of fun.